5 red lights, there they are. And away we go here. What have we got in terms of positional changes? A lot of contact, massive spin there from the Red Bull. I'm not quite sure who he came into contact with. McLaren's wide. But it looks like most people are through the first corner. Any dramas into the second corner. The Renault of Sneppy. He is very close there to a lot of other cars. But it looks like everyone is around. A couple of the Williams of EP Life going quite wide, but he's made a lot of positions. Salvo running wide. He looks unscathed, but that was a very close run-in with the wall there. Strategy will play quite a role here. A lot of cars on the mediums, but as you can see there, Raikkis. Oh, can Kyle squeeze down there into the inside? He's got DRS, but so is the McLaren. It looks like a little bit of contact between the two. McLaren on the inside, but he's one wide. Kyle back at the inside. McLaren's got the inside on the next corner. Kyle runs very wide. I think he's neatly in behind him. I don't think there's any contact between the two. Salva's defending the position so far, but Kyle's being pressured from Peter behind. They've retained the same one. Raikkis is benefiting greatly from this. Very sideways from Kai. He's lost a lot of time on the McLaren in front. Defending quite viciously. And SLR Tommy has come past Peter in the Ferrari, who was really knocked out by that defensive driving from Kai there. Raikkis goes a little bit wide, but he's got the inside into the next one, so I think he's safe. Oh, and oh my goodness. Why is this going the wrong way? The McLaren of Salva has spun. Unbelievable stuff. He tried to go at the inside, which led Kime EP Life up into 5th. He started last on the grid. Salva's left the session. Kime defends back up the inside. Raikkis is absolutely storming ahead now. He's making a break for it. So Kime comes out in 5th, EP Life 6th, SLR Tommy in 7th, and Peter is down in 8th. SLR Tommy goes straight back past EP Life there. What an excellent overtake by him. Peter utilising that curve to its full potential. And he might get past EP Life here. He's got the inside by the looks of it. The Red Bull going a little bit wide into the corner. EP Life defends, but Peter is around the inside. It looks like the Red Bull is very close. They have come together. Both the Ferrari and the Red Bull are off the track. The Red Bull's lost the entire wing. A nudge there from the Red Bull, who has lost his entire front wing by the looks of it. That's going to cost him so much time. The McLaren have hardcore there behind him. And they're still battling it, but no downforce. Peter looks like that might be like it's not a retirement. Tommy here, still no wing. The McLaren of hardcore really just needs to focus to get past, and it looks like that is exactly what he's going to do here. Very tight line from Kris there. Typically we see him going a little bit wider than that. But here we go, the Ferrari's got DRS. Sneppy defends the inside line. Around the outside goes Kris. Can he make it stick? He's ahead. He's still got DRS. I think he's going to make it up the inside here. Decker's retired from the session. I wonder what happened to him. Although Sven now really close behind the racing point. There he goes around the outside of the penultimate corner. A little bit of contact, and the Alfa Romeo of Kime spins on the final track. Thank goodness he ghosted there, because otherwise that would have been a horrific accident. But that was close to being a much more sinister collision. Let's see if we see a repeat of the same thing here between the Renault and the McLaren. Spassi has just retired from the session. Here he goes, car freak around the inside of Hardcore into the first corner, but it looks like Hardcore's a little bit on the inside. No, he has indeed lost the position. Will the Williams slow down the runner a little bit and give Kris a little bit of breathing space? Obviously, Sneppy and Kris were battling not that long ago for that second place, and now EP Life sits between the two of them. Although it looks like Sneppy here up the inside, very laggy. EP Life rejoins the truck, a little bit of contact. Nothing too major, and it looks like EP Life is going to retire into the pits. He is indeed, and Sneppy goes on, I'm pretty sure, unscathed. I hope so, for his sake. And Peter on the harder compound tyre, so maybe he will be lapping faster than the Ferrari, but we've seen Peter's unbelievable pace before. Although DRS from the Haas makes it look like he's going to have to pressure into turn 1. Up the inside goes Yoda. He's made quite a lot of get around actually through there, quite substantial. He's still got DRS. And the Ferrari is nowhere to be seen as Yoda enters turn 2. Ruptures road. Pressure in the McLaren of Hardcore. He goes straight at the inside as the McLaren of Hardcore runs wide. Yoda sets a fastest lap with 1:19.2. Medium tyres, I believe Kris held the current fastest one on hards, so it's not that unheard of. We're getting a little chain starting to form by the looks of it. Or is that Kris up and amongst the back markers? It is indeed. But Hardcore getting pressured here by EP Life, who goes up the inside into turn 1. A lot of ghosting going on. I'm not sure whether this is lag related or something to do with blue flags. But EP Life has made the move stick. I think it might have something to do with back markers. But now it's all to play for at the front. Kris has absolutely crushed the gap separating him and Sven as they come around the penultimate corner of the 24th lap out of 35 laps. Kris is going to get DRS down the home straight. He's going to close the gap on Sven. I don't think he's going to pressure into the first corner, but certainly into the second. There we go, around the first corner. Yeah, he doesn't make any moves through there. Kris, again, enabling DRS. Forever hunting this Williams into this first corner. Every lap. It looks... Oh, he's trying it. A lot of movement from the Ferrari. Sven very defensive of that inside line. And who can blame him? Someone like Kris will tell you do not want to let them past. Any minor slip-ups. Kris is a little bit closer this time as he opens the rear wing for that DRS down the home straight. Sven goes up the inside. Kris tries to follow suit. Kris around the outside into turn 1. It looks like Sven's defended it, but Kris still got DRS. He's had to fall back behind the Williams, weaving in and out, trying to trick the Sven, the one and only, try and go wide, but it looks like he's lost a couple of seconds there. Excellent attempt by Kris, but even better defending by Sven. The final corner, a long right-hander. It's going to feel so much longer for Kris as he sees that he's not going to make it past Sven. And Sven wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Kris only 0.47 seconds behind him. Looks like Sneppy's going to take a well-deserved third place. Raikkis in 4th. Although that is not a confirmed position. You can see the racing quarter climb there, doing pretty much exactly the same as what we saw Kris doing a moment ago, but he really tries to dive up the inside for the position. He's really safe from behind. 27 seconds separate the racing point and the Red Bull of SLR Tommy, who is in 6th, which is quite impressive given his earlier collision and coming together with Peter in the other Ferrari. A disappointing evening for him. There we go. That has been the Hungarian Grand Prix. Sven taking the win. Kris second. And here we see them on the podium with Sneppy there. Rounding out the podium for Renault. What an astonishing race. We really saw some action in the first half. Quieted down the second half. But we got to watch Kris go on the hunt for Sven. Who didn't quite reach him this evening. But maybe he'll make it next week. But there we see Sven reveling in his victory. First for him. Second for Kris. Third for Sneppy. And we'll get the results for the rest of the drivers momentarily. We got 2,500 XP. Excellent. Okay, so we already know Sven first, Kris second, and Sneppy in third. Below them, Raikkis in the Alfa Romeo, fourth. He started first. Huge positions dropped for him. Klein, fifth in the Racing Point. Climbed a few positions, 8th to 5th. SLR Tommy, 12th to 6th. With the incident, pretty excellent performance from him. Peter in the Ferrari, 5th to 7th. Again, tangled up with SLR Tommy in that earlier incident. Salva 8th, Ramses Raid 9th, EP Life finishes the top 10. Hardcore in the McLaren, a 5-second penalty rounds up the finishes, with the remaining 4 drivers DNFing from the race. Yeah.